What's up, you coked out rugrats? This is Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast brought to you by Affable Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, Chad. Look at them balls on those eyes that Joel's got on his face, Innes. And we've got our regular co-host here, Adam. Pop what magnitude? Pop this zit on my shoulder, Gumbert. How are you, Adam?
Lord willing and the creek don't rise, baby.
Hey, that's right. And he had a grasshopper. And this petrified sex doll is Joel Campos. How are you, Joel?
Uh-huh. Great for audio.
Yeah. I'm good, Chad.
Could you imagine?
Look at this.
Oh, go ahead.
My eyes are starting to water because I was staring too long. Look at this. JK Games merch. Officially unofficial because Jericho might not print these. Who knows?
It's almost like you're friends with the people of the JK Games podcast.
Look at that.
Whoa.
So Jericho will never watch this, but I know that you guys were hanging out. Cool. Jericho, am I fucking chopped liver? Do I not wear clothes? Whoa. Would I not like a hoodie? You know? Just saying.
Look at that. Two different blues.
I know. Two blues.
Me and Chad were walking around the Lincoln Park Zoo yesterday. What were we doing at the Lincoln Park Zoo yesterday?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
I'm so glad you asked, Adam. We were walking around. We walked like 3.8 miles playing Pokemon Go at the Lincoln Park Zoo. And you know who was with us? You know who was with us? My wife. You know what my wife doesn't do?
My wife.
Fucking play Pokemon Go. That's what she doesn't do. So what was she doing?
She was so enamored with it.
Yeah, she was doing zoo stuff. She was looking at animals. She was taking lifestyle pictures of me and Chad in this JK Games merch, walking around the zoo, playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, it was a great time.
Oh, tell her to put those in the shared folder. I want to see those photos.
I'll text her right now.
She is responding right now live. If you are listening as we stream to twitch.tv/affability, it's on Monday evenings around 8:30 Eastern time. Or she might be responding right now on demand. If you're listening to this starting on Wednesday mornings now, at 9 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube and podcast services. What was her response to the demand to put her photos into the shared folder? We might find out by the end of this episode. We might not.
She has read it, and I guarantee you she can hear me talking right now. So
nice. We've seen her walking.
If she doesn't respond, then it's bad news bears. If I'm dead tomorrow, you know why.
If Joel died tomorrow, he might or might not have had time to play The Outer Worlds, which is this month's BARF game. That's the backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends. That's our monthly game that you, as patrons, over on patreon.com/RespawnAimFire, have asked us to play in the month of April. So, we're going to play that game in anticipation of Outer Worlds 2 coming out later this year from Obsidian. And also, if you're a patron over at patreon.com/RespawnAimFire, you have early access to Rafter Dark episode 3 right now, where we talk about, I forget, what was 3?
Joel's drug dream.
Joel's drug dream. Adam, you're in half or something like that? Something like that.
Quick question.
Yeah.
First, Adam, does Chad sound a little robotic-y to you? He's
and on Twitch as well, yep.
Mm-hmm. Skipping around a bit.
Little bobotomy.
So you might want to reboot, Chad. Secondly, Elise just sent me pictures and said nobody invited her to the shared photo album, which I think is a lie because honestly, she probably ignored that notification.
Yeah, I put that link in the whole baby chat and the whole Greg Miller's babies chat.
We'll get to that later. Chad, reboot. Adam and me are going to filibuster. We're going to filibuster.
All right, Joel, here we are again.
What if we just sat here in silence?
It just didn't say anything. No, we already talked about that. We just got to wait for Chad for the main quest. I will say, though, I'm glad you guys had fun, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about it. But legitimately, text Jericho right now. Ask her when I can get a hoodie.
You can text her.
I do have her number. That's true.
Yeah.
But I want you to do it.
No, I can't do it. That's not me. That's not my style.
Can't or won't.
Filibuster, I barely know her.
I won't do it.
How's my audio sound now to y'all?
You sound beautiful.
Oh, dude, nice. Beautiful, like a little Rafter Dark dream home that we also talk about in Rafter Dark episode 3. If you're not a patron on patreon.com/respawning you can go to YouTube and podcast right now and get other Rafter Darks, like the one where Cozy tells us why his dad sucks at movies, or the one where we all go on a little journey and figure out that vaginas look like hive worms. There's a medical diagram of a vagina on a Wikipedia page that we've discovered also looks exactly like a hive worm from Destiny. Just saying, hive worms, they're hungry for blood. That's the trait and the quality that they have. And I've seen the movie Teeth. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
Speaking of Destiny hive worms, our main quest today, Bungie's Marathon, has been revealed and is coming this year. This information comes from Jordan Midler over at VGC. Bungie has revealed the first gameplay and more details about Marathon, including the game's release date of Septiembre 23, 2025. The game is described as a, quote, team-based extraction shooter. Players play as a mercenary who has given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats. Players form a crew of 3 to battle up against up to 18 other players in each zone. Players fight over loot, which they then must extract successfully to collect. If a team dies, their loot can be collected by other players. Bungie has also confirmed that it will allow players to play the game without the need of a full squad. However, this will be sustainably more challenging. The game's closed alpha test starts April 23rd. So it's like a little over a week from now. If you are interested in joining the beta, you have to go to their Discord, discord.gg/marathonthegame, and then you have to fill out like a 20,000 minute survey about how many kids you have and what their fucking middle names are and the street that you grew up on and whether or not you're a content creator. They won't tell you if you're a content creator whether that hurts you or helps you, so hopefully it helps us, because we're going to hopefully get into this alpha test. But even if we do, we sign terms and conditions that say we can't talk about it. So, Marathon is set for release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and the game won't require players on other platforms to sign up for a PlayStation Network account, because remember, Bungie is now property of PlayStation. Bungie also confirmed that the game will be a, quote, premium product, though the studio has yet to confirm the price. We're going to pause there on news, and I will let you know that Joel and I watched at least 15 minutes of this in the back of an Uber so that we could get the emblem for Destiny when we watched it on Twitch. And that's about the extent to which I've seen gameplay of this, other than kind of seeing the occasional tweet from Wario64 telling us information like what it might cost, who knows. So I'm curious, does this game tickle your pickles?
I'm super pumped for this. Like, I'm same boat as Chad. I haven't really watched too much gameplay. I've just seen clips here and there. What I like about it the most is that it literally just looks like a reskinned Destiny, in terms of like what the gameplay looks like. It feels, like looking down the scope, like Matt said the other day, it looks just like looking down the scope in Destiny, which obviously me and Chad, huge Destiny fans, so that's a huge plus for us. I really hope that I know the whole thing is it's PvP. I hope that at some point, I don't know if that'll be at launch or if they'll just announce it later. I hope they do something like Fortnite does and like what Warzone has recently done, where it is PvP, but maybe some of the, 2 or 3 of the other squads are bots. You know what I mean? Just because like in Warzone, me and Chad have been playing recently with Matt and Dallas, and we've been playing that new, Verdansk Warzone that has bots in it as well. And man, it is 10 times more fun being able to actually compete against people, even though, yeah, the bots, they could be better in Warzone. It's clear that they just kind of threw them in there for now. And I'm sure that they're going to get better over time. But yeah, this game would benefit highly from something like that, especially if they're trying to get a bunch of Destiny players into this. Because I'd say the vast majority of Destiny players probably don't even touch PvP, like Crucible and Trials of Osiris stuff. So for them to only...
Trials is at its lowest like population that it's ever been.
Yeah, and for them to try and get Destiny players into this, I think that it's going to be a huge turnoff if every game they go into, they're just getting absolutely demolished by other players.
Yeah,
Have you watched any of this?
Yeah, I watched the trailers that came out on Saturday. So I've watched the gameplay overview and the whatever. I haven't watched streams, but I've watched the actual videos that Bungie put out. And a couple of things I will say. First, I like the technical look of the game. Like the world and the trees and the foliage and the colors are cool. I hate the art style. I hate these. They look like if you've ever built Gundam model kits, but you have to paint them yourself. That's what everything in the game looks like. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I do like a multiplayer game. I do like extraction shooters. I like, the way that Bungie feels. So I think I can overlook that they look like unpainted models. If all that stuff is good and they get a good crew together, I think the game's going to play great. Obviously, Bungie makes great playing games. It will be interesting to see how people take to it, just with the nature of it being, it's going to be PvP for, maybe one day they add a bot, but probably maybe not. I mean, Tarkov never has, and Tarkov doesn't need to because that's what the game is. Bungie's probably looking for a bigger audience and has to cater to more of them, but I think this is just going to be what the game is going to be, so I hope people take to it, because those games are fun, but I don't know, we just got to hope that the Destiny / PlayStation audience is willing to take to it. But if they do, I think we'll have a good game and people have a good time. I am just a little like, I don't know, we got to see. We won't know until people play it, right? Which I think they're doing.
People have.
Well, I'm saying this is better than Concord, when they were just like, here's the thing, and then eventually there will be a month before it comes out, here's a beta. The fact that they have people playing it now who can talk about it, I think is going to help it. And I hope that, when people normal people get hands on it, because this game has to have an audience or it doesn't die. But again, coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC on day one, that should solve that problem. So if people play it, I'm interested. I'm just fingers crossed, because the last time this did not go well, but I trust Bungie more than I did the last time that Concord came out. So
the thing I told Chad about the art style is it really, so when they first revealed the game, they just kind of, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was more or less a splash screen that said Marathon, had the green, the red, the white kind of aesthetic. And I told Chad, it honestly seems like somebody created concept art, like of the logo and maybe a character, and they're just like, all right, that is the aesthetic of this entire fucking game now, based off of that one piece of key art that somebody made. And they kind of really just ran with it, and that's what everything looks like. So, yeah, I'm definitely.
It's really that like highlighter green color.
Yes, everywhere.
It's like, cool, we're gonna build a game around that color.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like the look of the UI. I think it's got it's a like old school, like retro kind of text and very basic, not pixelated, but just like pixel type icons, especially for the guns and things like that. Like they look very like pixel versions of these guns. But I think it distinguishes itself like from Fallout or like some other Bethesda games that just like have that really old command line terminal looking stuff that turns me off. But this looks like a futuristic version of that, which turns me on sexually. So I'm pumped for that. The UI, I mean, not the UI, the rest of the like art style of all the things, it looks very busy. And it looks like I might be able to get easily overwhelmed and things blend into the environments and things just because everything is so colorful and who knows. Anyway, so yeah, I like that it's bold and that it looks unique from everything else. I think that's going to help it stand apart and maybe kind of stick around, unlike some of the other live service games that have come and gone over the last several years. The thing that I am not sure about is whether or not this is going to do. There are so many other games like this that I've gotten into for a day, a week. I think about Helldivers. I think about the finals. I think about hell, even Warzone that I occasionally come back to. I played Apex a couple times. And so there are so many things I'm like, oh man, I'm having a really fun time with this. But there's nothing that keeps me around because I'm just not a PvP boy by trade. And the fact that this is kind of PvP, but you're really just like, all right, let's all get to this thing and extract, like get as much loot as we can and extract. And you could, I guess, potentially go an entire game without even running into people if you're just like that good at avoiding people or, chances on your side or whatever it might be. So that might interest me, especially if there's a good carrot on the end of the stick to chase as far as upgrade wise or weapons or things like that I can unlock. But yeah, I'm optimistic about this one. I'm excited to try it out if I get into this alpha. See how it plays, but I'm also very cautious.
Sorry, I was gonna say,
yeah.
Can we talk briefly about like price? Because
yeah, so that's what I was saying. I'm very cautious about how this thing gets marketed and what it costs.
Because they've said it's not free. It's not a free to play game, which makes me and probably most people assume that it's going to be a $40 game, like Helldivers and Concord was. Concord was 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where I think this would benefit from, I guess, any price point. Free to play obviously is king, right? They will get so many people into this game day one if it's free to play, much like the finals was, right? The finals got me and Chad played it a bunch. I think Adam played it a bunch right when it launched. But then obviously it died out, and I think that's mainly because the content wasn't there. I don't know what it was. Something wasn't really grabbing me in that game as it does in some other free to play games. But the fact that this is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC is going to help this game tremendously, because that's just an even bigger player base, more people that could be playing this game. But at $40, it's kind of a gamble, and they have kind of tiptoed around answering that when people ask them, and I think it truly is because they don't know what the fuck this game's going to release at. They don't want to commit to a price because they're probably trying to figure out, should we release this at $40 or should we just say fuck it and try and release it as free to play? Like, what's going to benefit them the most? It also comes down to like, what's content look like, right? And you have to assume this is going to have a battle pass of some sort, if not at launch, shortly after launch.
Right.
I think it launches with a season 1. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there you go.
At that point,
I don't know.
$40 feels too much in a post-Concord world for a game like this. But then what is it instead? Is it $20? Is it $10? And in that case,
Chad,
why charge for it at all?
Helldivers was $40, and it's an extraction shooter.
Yeah, but it struck gold in like
it's
timing
also,
and all that kind of stuff.
That is also PvE too, so that's kind of a little bit different, but still, Sony is weird in where they could be like, oh, well, Helldivers killed. It's also an extraction shooter. Fuck you, Bungie. This game is going to be $40 and could potentially die shortly after because of it.
I think the other really interesting thing about pricing structure and monetization and all of that for this game is that Bungie has over a decade of knowledge from Destiny, and how Destiny started as, full price game and then went free to play, but you still bought expansions, and then they have season passes now. They have the Eververse for cosmetic stuff. And so like they have so much knowledge about how all of that works and what sticks and what doesn't and what people are willing to pay for and what they're not. And so like I trust them more than a different studio who's making their very first live service game to like do something that's going to work well or know the right exact price to actually sell this thing. But I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's at the end of the day, it's Sony's decision, right? So you can trust Bungie all you want, but if they lose that battle internally, then it's really not up to them.
Well, I mean, even if it's Sony's decision, they're like, hey, we're going to sell for this price point, or like monetization is something that you have to, like, that's part of game development, is what is the monetization strategy and how do we develop the game and the progression around that. So that's a conversation that should have been had very early on, or at least before now. And I'm sure they have a couple of figures in mind. They're like, oh, maybe we'll do this, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do this price point, and
yeah, I'm sure whatever they were planning for, one way or another, I'm sure Concord threw a wrench into it in some 100%. Way. In some way, right? Like whether they were planning for this to be free to play, and Concord comes out just completely bombs at $40, or they were planning on this being a full price game or a $40 game, and then Concord bombs. Like it's all up in the air, and who knows what the fuck could happen. If I was Sony, this is like make or break for Sony live service games, I would say, right? Because like if this comes out and just bombs because of whether it's just the game's not great or the cost of it kind of turns people off of it, like that could be that. It's going to taint their name in terms of live service games completely, which is crazy considering Helldivers 2 sold so fucking well the first year it came out.
Yeah, but Bungie is their live service studio. Like, they were literally the ones who said, hey, Naughty Dog, that game's not working, and they canceled it because of what Bungie said. So
And they were working on this before they were bought by Sony, right?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been noodling around for a while.
Promising. in terms of the game itself.
I mean, also remember, like, this marathon is already a game, and this is like a relaunching of that IP.
Which is so weird because this is nothing like OG Marathon, which
It's
also
nothing
was
like
30
it.
years ago, so that's fine. It's not a huge deal, but it's nothing like the original. But I guess you own the IP, so you got to use it. Yeah, again, at the end of the day, I mean, it does. You'll have to see whenever it's in people's hand and what people decide that they want to do. I mean, because again, there are a lot of good games out there that nobody gives a shit about because one reason or another, and it is what it is. Or there are games that are, you know, they got to market it right. And, you know, I think having Bungie's name helps already. Having PlayStation behind it helps. But, you know, like you said, they got to nail that landing or this game will not be around for long. But I'm more hopeful because just Bungie knows what they're doing. So you just got to let them cook, as the kids say. Is that what the kids say, Joel? You hang around a lot of kids.
I do not.
Like, definitively the person who hangs around the least kids.
You literally have a child.
Yeah, that's true. But he's not cool.
He also doesn't cook. Ask that kid to make you anything.
No.
Nasty.
Can't even make a quiche.
Can't even make a fucking souffle. What kind of a kid is he? All right, folks. Well, this time next week we might be playing it, but you'll never know because we're not allowed to talk about it. But we can talk about what we played last week. Adam, take me through some of what these acronyms are, like zombie ref.
Is it zombie? That's interesting. No. So first up, I have played it. The internet's crazy about it. At least the weirdos on the internet. Blueprints. Blueprints or blueprints? Yeah. Who knows what it stands for?
Prince.
Blueprints is is a puzzle game from an indie studio, and it is basically you show up at a manor, and it's like, all right, you know, Granddad said I can have the manor as long as I get to the 46th room. And actually, I think Joel, you might want to Google this for me while I'm talking. I'm pretty sure Blueprints was already a board game, like a tabletop board game, where you do the same thing, where it's like you have a manor and then you draw cards and then you build the manor, and like that's how you play in real life. But the video game's the same thing. But it's very much like The Witness, where like I'm trying to figure out the mysteries of the manor, and like you find clues, and maybe at first it doesn't seem like it means anything, but you got to write it down in your journal, and you're like, oh, actually this means this. I wasn't paying attention. That means that. So it's again very The Witness puzzle game like. But yeah, you are creating a manor, and you're going through it trying to find the 46th room is your first thing, and you're learning and gaining knowledge as you get through it. And it has been a ton of fun. I've played a couple runs of it, and it's like it's got that good feel. You know, you get like a good. I didn't love The Witness, but I understand why people like The Witness because it's like, oh, these brain ticklers feel so good.
No.
Some
that
people
game makes
do.
me feel like a fucking idiot.
I don't like The Witness, but
So does Return of the Obra Dinn, which this like gameplay. When people talk about this game and the gameplay, it kind of makes me think of that game too.
oh, I actually like Obra Dinn a lot though. So it depends on the game, but yeah, no, I'm super into this. And again, I'm pretty sure it's based off of a tabletop game already, so you get the idea. But it's cool. People are into it. They're doing their nerdy stuff. Yeah, I've played a couple runs, had a good time trying to figure out the mystery. I found one thing on my first run that apparently takes people longer, and I'm like, oh, I already have that knowledge right now. I don't have to be an idiot and stumble around thinking this thing is this, but it's actually not. So that's pretty fun and interesting. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes me to get through that, but it's an excellent game. Very good. And it's also on Game Pass, and I don't know what level of PlayStation Plus, but it's on one of the levels of PlayStation Plus. So there's really not a reason not to at least check it out if you have those services. Next up, South of Midnight. Oh, I was playing Game Pass all weekend. Dude, I fucking love this video game. South of Midnight is the Xbox. It's from Compulsion Studios, people who made We Happy Few, and it is a adventure, like 3D platformer adventure game where you are Southern Gothic, you know, tales and myths, and it's animated like Coraline is basically what it is. I initially was like, oh, that's the Spider-Verse stuff. Like, no, when you're actually playing it, it's like, no, this entire world looks like this, and it's like, yeah, I'm playing Black Coraline is basically what that game is, and I'm super into it. All the characters are fun. I also, as a person from the South, it is cool seeing all of these kind of tales in this setting. And the music is excellent. Like, it's all like blues and bluegrass and jazz and, you know, Southern music like you would assume, and it's super excellent. The one gripe that people said, like, the combat's fine, and so yeah, the combat is basic as shit. It's basically just hit X 5 times, and then here's some powers to make it easier hitting X 5 times, which is very fine when you're doing the arena stuff. The actual boss stuff is a little more interesting, but all that, like, it's so crazy. It's like, oh, none of that matters because I enjoy going around the world and hanging out with these weird fucking characters that are, this catfish who talks like Gambit and shit. And it's like, all right, this is a good time. So I'm really, really enjoying the game. But hey, heads up, gameplay basic as fuck. But everything else I think is 10 out of 10. So it kind of lifts that game up for me. It's pretty good.
Do you think we'll see this one on, like, the general, like, vibe of this game, or vibe of the reviews of this game have been, like, kind of middling, I feel, of what I've seen. I don't know how that's affected sales, but do you feel like this is a game that, to push or squeeze more sales out of it, we'll see it on PlayStation soon, or you think this is sticking just on Xbox?
Soon? I don't know about soon. Probably in a year. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, they put most things on PlayStation because that's how you make more money, is by releasing more games in more places. And yeah, I think it'll be fine. I mean, I haven't looked at reviews in a while. They were like in the 80s, like 81, 82, and I'm like, yeah, that feels about
77.
Right. 77 now?
Metacritic.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, that's fine. It's not a bad game. Again, it's just combat's basic. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it came to PlayStation in a year. That sounds like what happens nowadays. But it's also only $40 if you have Xbox or PC, or you can just wait. And again, I enjoy it for everything besides the combat. So take that as you will. But I do enjoy the game quite a bit. And then last, don't you love when you write shit down and you don't remember what it is? Oh, here's Joel mentioned her earlier. Joel, be careful. Marvel Rivals, Emma Frost. There's going to be some crazy things if you Google that one. But no, season 2 of Marvel Rivals is out now. And I've, obviously you get in there, you buy the new battle pass, you have a good time. But Emma Frost, let me tell you, they brought a new character in. Emma Frost, the thickest thighs in history, chat. This video.
The thumbnail of this video just said "for boobs."
Oh my god, that's so funny. I mean, look, Marvel Rivals is all about sex characters, but super fun to play because she's Emma Frost. I mean, she's an X-Man, whatever. She has telepathic powers, but she's a tank character, so she's ranged. And then you click on your diamond skin, because that's where she can turn herself into diamonds. And then you become like the punchy tank. So you can switch back and forth between ranged.
God, look at her fucking thighs. And
dude.
That shot.
Yeah, Chun-Li got nothing on her. Like, she's so much better. But again, it's so funny when you try to play, because like a new season starts or anytime a new character drops, there's always missions be like, do this much damage with the new character. And I swear you load into a game and in 0.01 seconds, someone has already picked her. So I had to be so quick on the trigger to get her, but I got my stuff done. But
she's new, right? I don't remember seeing her.
Yeah, she's brand new. She just came out Friday when the new season launched. But yeah, no, good character. Like her a lot. I used her in one match and immediately got MVP because she's super good. And not, she got big thighs, guys. Not a big deal. But yeah. That's basically it. That's all I've been doing. Marvel
This
Rivals,
is one of those games that again, like the finals, like Helldivers, like I was really into for like a week, and then I completely forgot it existed. And so I'm wondering how long this. I foresee this being a game like Dota or League of Legends or Valorant or something like that has some of the most rabid, large fan bases of all time, and I just never fucking pay attention to that community. So I just. Oh, yeah, I guess people do play League. Oh, I guess people do play Marvel Rivals still.
A lot of people, yeah. The game has not slowed down at all. And again, they've been good about, again, it helps when you have a license that people like. Yeah. It helps when the game is good. It helps when everybody is sexy as well, because there's a certain quarter of the internet who are very interested in that. But it's also just like the amount of
discords out there.
A lot of secret discords. But the amount of content, like the fact that, okay, the game came out in December and is now April, and we have had 5 new characters on top of the 32 at launch. Like, they are putting out new maps every other month, a new character, basically once a month if you do the, break down the math. So I think if they keep that pace, that the game will stay popular for a very long time. I think the next one's Ultron. So
do you think we get to a point, because like obviously Marvel characters are not unlimited, I know there's a lot of them, but not unlimited. Do you think we get to a point where they just like make a variant of Iron Man where like maybe it plays differently or something, like from a different like offshoot comic series? Because like I mean Warframe. Yeah, because like I said, it's not an unlimited amount of characters. I understand there's a lot, but there's only so many like mainline characters, I guess you could say, from Marvel to like get like you're not going to get people to come back for like fucking Nightcrawler. Like that's not going to be like
I don't know, dude. Nightcrawler would be sick.
I agree it would be sick, but that's not going to be like your fucking poster for season 27. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get
Emma Frost was.
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, how much did you know about Emma Frost? You know what I'm saying?
I know she got played by the lady from Mad Men.
That's what you got to do.
That's about it.
No, I think what they'll probably do is for the first year, they'll basically, on the pace of one a month, character-wise is what I'm talking about. And I think after that, they'll probably do one a season. You're right. Eventually they will run out. I think that they have a plan to be able to do this for a long while, just because there are so many. Again, we're not even hitting all the A-tier characters, because we just got Emma Frost to start off this season. Everyone's fucking crazy for her. So, but I'm with you. There will probably come a point, but I feel like by then they'll have already gotten hundreds of dollars out of me, and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I want to issue a correction. I made a joke that didn't land because I said the wrong fucking thing. The Iron Man variant would be called War Machine, not Warframe. Warframe's a stupid.
Warframe is a bad game.
Ninja game, but it is a ninja game, not the stupid thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Everyone pretend I said the other thing and then laugh at it.
I'm not gonna laugh. Still not gonna laugh.
War Machine. He's basically just Iron Man with more guns. Here's the thing: they could absolutely make War Machine and make him a tank instead of a DPS like Iron Man is, because he's got more guns and more armor, and they would work just fine. And then they give him thick thighs, and everyone's super into War Machine.
Yeah. That's how they continue to do this. Is that they release thick-thighed variants of all of the men, all of the
on April Fool's Day they released a twerking emote for Venom. So Venom now twerks if you were playing the game on April Fool's Day. Like they know their audience. They got it figured out, and a good game on top of that.
Speaking of twerking, Joel, tell me about what you're playing.
I've been twerking in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh.
When Chad was here over the weekend, we were at the Airbnb, we had some time to kill, and I just started playing my Switch. And I haven't played Arceus in like 2 weeks, I think. I played, and then I kind of fell off of it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you glitched out for a second.
I think my headphones.
Yeah, we can hear you.
But I'm gonna keep talking.
Yeah, we can. Hear you.
Yeah, I fell off right when it came out, and then a few months ago, I picked it back up. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think your thing went in and out, and then you went in and out because your headphones.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the penis went in and out, and then a baby was made.
Yeah, so I picked it back up, and I've been playing it here and there. But Chad saw me pick it back up, and Chad can attest, I'm still very much at the beginning of this game. I'm pretty much like right past the intro of like, oh, you fucking just ended up in the past, essentially. Kind of figure your way around, you know. I don't even think I've gotten to the point to where it's like telling me the main objective of the game, outside of just like, hey, go talk to this person, go talk to that person. Oh, this person has a side quest for you. That person has a side quest for you. And I'm loving that aspect of the game. The fact that there's side quests is like kind of crazy to me, because I don't think any other Pokemon game has like trackable side quests in a way. I know like Scarlet and Violet has like side stuff you can do, but it's all related to like, if I'm not mistaken, it's all like school stuff, right? And I avoided all of that.
I mean, yeah, there's the only other side thing I can think of in Scarlet and Violet is like, oh, go find the 16 green swords stuck in the ground and then touch them all, and then a Pokemon they don't tell you anything about just shows up in a hole.
Yeah, this
but it's
one,
that's it. There's no tracked thing. There's no telling you how many you've picked up and how many. There's none of that.
Yeah, that's the other thing about Legends Arceus is it tracks so much stuff, like how many of X amount of Pokemon you've caught, how many times you've evolved Pokemon into this, that, or the other thing. In like, while the side quests are not great, right? Like, it's like, I think the best side quest in this that I've seen so far is just probably like a very low end to medium side quest in like Assassin's Creed or something, where it's like, hey, go find fucking 4 pieces of wood and make this thing for me and bring it back. Or, hey, I really want a side duck. Make that happen for me. It's just like all super basic, lame stuff, but the fact that like Pokemon doesn't do that, it just feels like a breath of fresh air. Even though I know we're talking about like a 5-year-old game at this point, right? 4-year-old game. When did this come out? 2021?
Yeah, 2021. It was definitely while I was in this apartment, so at least late 2021. Maybe early. I think it was January 2022, actually.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm definitely going to keep playing it. I want to get this one completed before Pokemon Za, since it's right. Pokemon Za is rumored to be similar to this one in some ways.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that Za does have side quests like this one does, because it's pretty cool. I also love running around. The reason I'm still so early in the game is because, like, when I started playing, I was so enamored with the fact that I could just run and throw Pokeballs at stuff and potentially catch them, that I must have wasted like 300 Pokeballs just throwing Pokeballs, running out, and I was like, fuck, I don't have Pokeballs. I guess I'll just go back to the town I just left. And I was just basically going back and forth, catching everything I could find, or at least trying to catch everything I could find without battling it. So yeah, that's really cool. I think I just unlocked the mount, which Chad saw me do, so that kind of tells where I'm at in the game. And then, yeah, I'm excited. Chad said I get a flying mount at some point. That doesn't, because of the limitations with Nintendo Switch and the game, I cannot see any Pokemon on the ground until I land on the ground, which is so dumb. But that's kind of the similar thing with Scarlet and Violet too, right? Like, you got to get close enough to see anything in those. Yeah, definitely excited to keep playing this. And excited for Za. Excited for Switch 2. Who knows if we'll ever get to pre-order them, right? The rumor right now for Switch 2, Wario64 tweeted that April 30th is listed in, like, I think it's Target's back-end site. But again, that's just the end of the month, so it could just be a placeholder thing that they threw in there until they figure it out.
Have hope. Just believe. It'll come true.
Yeah, and then the only other thing I played is Pokemon Go to the Lincoln Park Zoo. They had a raid day yesterday, and me and Chad went to the Lincoln Park Zoo and walked 3.8, something like that, miles, playing Pokemon Go. Did a bunch of raids, did a bunch of party quests.
At Lincoln Park Zoo and fucking Rate Field, we did probably combined like 50 party challenges.
Yes. So
it was insane.
Adam doesn't know this, but they introduced parties to Pokemon Go like a year or two ago, and essentially, I think it was like 2 years ago. But either way, essentially what it is you could squad up like you can in any other game, but you have to be right next to the person you're playing with. And me and Chad don't have people in real life that play Pokemon Go. At least, like, I don't have anybody that, like, I'm gonna go meet up with. Like, anybody I know that plays, like, my only friend that I have lives like an hour away, and like, I'm not trying to drive, an hour to go play Pokemon Go for a day. But yeah, and then they introduced quests essentially that you have to be in these parties to do, and I just never got. The only chance I have to do them is when I'm with Chad, and we knocked so many of them out. I'm not done yet because I have to catch electric Pokemon while in a party and then do 30 more challenges.
Yep.
And Chad is probably like halfway done with the last step, which means he would need like 15 more.
I have to catch 15 fire type, and I am at 11 out of 30 on that last step.
Yeah, so we're working our way through.
And what do we get
that.
when it's done? Probably a Pokemon that we're going to immediately eat and turn into candy.
Probably. But no,
all
what we
the great
get is
memories along the way.
The great memories along the way, and the satisfaction of taking that quest off of my screen.
Yes. Yep.
As
check that
incomplete.
box.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Pokemon Go is awesome, especially when you have somebody to play with. And you're not, because normally when there's like a Pokemon Go day that I want to, take part in, I'm just walking around the zoo by myself. I just go there, I park, I'll walk around for 2 hours, play Pokemon Go, and then get on with the rest of my day. But yeah, hanging out with somebody is actually makes it much more entertaining to do.
And I was there too.
Chad was there.
I mean, Elise made it entertaining, but I was there too. Yeah, so I played.
I do want to say, we got to a point with walking around the zoo playing Pokemon Go where Elise is like, I'm going to go buy a glass of red wine. Yeah. And she does not drink wine. It was just like, I was like, why didn't you just get a beer? She's like, I don't know. The red wine was calling to me.
They sell red wine at the zoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago's
pretty
progressive.
Cool. That's pretty cool. I ain't mad at them.
You just walk around with a Dixie cup full of red wine.
Dude, you think they're going to be selling booze at the Cincinnati Zoo? You know what happened without any alcohol
happened
there.
in 2016.
You go order booze and they give you a Bible and a freaking lashing.
Imagine what would have happened at the Cincinnati Zoo if they sold alcohol there in 2016.
Well, my only thing is that zoos are very family friendly, and a lot of kids go to. So I'm shocked that they sell alcohol there. That's all I'm saying.
Kids can drink?
Yeah, I guess they can. You shouldn't, but
I played, I think, nothing. So I put C on here is just like generally talk about Chicago. And there are a couple things I want to mention. One is just what a fun fucking time it was. We had a great little old time there.
Joel, I hate you so much.
The Greg Miller Chicago gameplay. We saw the Greg Miller like live in Chicago, like his one-man show that he did over in, well, he called it Chicago, but it was really Lisle, Illinois, and we had to drive like 65 hours outside of Chicago to get there.
It sucked. It sucked.
The show was fun. Yeah,
the drive sucked.
It was rush hour traffic. Like, see him talk
about
about stuff and answer people's questions. He answered questions for like what felt like 2 hours. I'm just questions on. And what's fun too is that he, in order to encourage people to get up and ask questions, which you really don't need in the Kind of Funny community, because people will just like get up and participate because that's part of who we are. But in order to encourage people, he just brought all the like press kit shit from the office that he didn't want to keep, and just brought out boxes and put it on stage. He's like, all right, anyone who asks a question, you get to pick one of these things. We got like this indie game on PS5. We got a shirt. We got just a bunch of like...
A messenger bag from Dying Light 2. Come up and get it.
Somebody got an Isaac Clarke helmet from Dead Space remaster. And yeah, there's a fun time there. A lot of good stuff. What the fuck else did we do that's worth mentioning? Oh, we went to Comic-Con. Oh, my God. So, C2E2, Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, C2E2. We went to... Matt and I tried to get into the Lord of the Rings panel, because basically the whole cast of the Lord of the Rings was there doing a panel. But we got in at like 10:30. The panel was at 11, and it was already completely full. And the
you got to be there an hour
was full. And yeah. So we didn't get to see that, but we did get to see a bunch of cool shit. I tell you all, if you're ever going anywhere to buy anything, bring Joel with you, because Joel is gonna fucking haggle for everything that he ever comes across in his life.
Dude, everything.
We went to this booth.
I live for this, Adam. I want you to know, I was like 3 or 4 IPAs deep, and I was not letting this man get full price for these Pokemon games. There was not a chance in hell.
Was it the last day of the con too?
No. First day.
Normally they love to haggle on the last day, not the first day. That's wild. Yeah.
First day.
I'm the kind of person who, like, that kind of shit gives me so much anxiety. Like, I'll walk up, and in order to avoid talking to you at all, I'll actually pay $10 over the sticker price. And Joel walks up and he's like, what if this is $20 cheaper? Oh, what if I buy 2 of these? Oh, you will give me a discount if I buy 2? How about more of a discount?
Yeah, Chad's never been to a flea market. Joel's been to plenty, I can tell.
Dude, okay, so we talked him down on 2 games, and then Chad's like, I'm actually thinking about getting a 3rd game. I was like, all right, buddy, how much more of a discount if we buy a 3rd game? He's like, I can't go any lower than that. And then like he showed Chad the game. Chad was looking at the condition. He's like, yeah, it's really good. I'm like, yeah, it'd be a little better if we got a little more of a discount. You know what I mean? And the guy, he just was not having it.
10% the best I can do, bud.
Dude, I got
we walked away with...
we got like $15 off per game.
Yeah.
We bought 3 games.
On day 1 of the con, that's very good.
Little Pokemon Ruby there. We both got a little Ruby Booby. And I didn't intend to get Emerald, because Emerald was like more than double the price of Ruby and Sapphire, but the Sapphire that they had, the label looked worse in real life than it looked in the display case. So I was like, fuck, I'm not about to walk out of here with just 1 game like a dweeb. I was really surprised, though, at the entire event, there was only that 1 booth that had games, and the guy behind the thing, like, we were looking at Pokemon Crystal is what we really came in for. Joel was like, I'm not leaving this con until I get Pokemon Crystal. But the best version they had still had, like, a tiny little tear in the top of the label, and the guy's like, yeah, sorry, we're saving all of our good stuff for PAX East next month. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, it's close.
But we still walked away with some good stuff. Oh my God, and there was also this one booth that had trading cards that were... all of them can technically be used in Magic the Gathering. Like, they all have a use case, like whether it like replaces a monster or an instant or whatever it might be in Magic the Gathering. But they're all video game art and characters and shit like that, and they look so fucking good. And if it wasn't all still like packed deep within my suitcase by the front door right now, I'd show you some of them. But I got like 6 of those things. There was a little Hollow Knight card. There was a Master Chief card. There was a fucking Cloud and Sephiroth card. Looks so cool.
Dope.
I think that's probably about it in little Comic Con land.
And Jerica flicked the bean. That
Jerica
happened.
did. She went and flicked the bean. Little bean down at Millennium Park. And went to a Portillo's for the first time in her life and got pickpocketed, got her wallet stolen.
Yes,
Pickpocketed?
This
Yep.
happened.
That's why I don't go to Chicago.
So I have lived in Chicago my entire life, whether it be the suburbs or the city, and I have never known or met anybody that has been pickpocketed in this city. But Jerica got pickpocketed. We've narrowed it down. We think she got pickpocketed while she was ordering Portillo's at the kiosk, because from her in all the pictures we have, she has her bag. It's a fanny pack. She has it on the front, like on her chest. And from her recollection, that's the only time she put it in the back was to order food, like to get it out of her way, probably. And yeah, that's when we think it happened. And man, I feel so bad about that. I was like, oh no, Jerica's never going to come back to Chicago. After she's been raving, she's like, guys, this flight, it's such a quick flight. So easy to get here. Like, it was pretty cheap. Like, she was so happy. We were in Portillo's eating. She ate this beef sandwich. She's like, this might be the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. She then ate a hot dog. I don't want to out her, right? I'm not about to out Jerica.
She was putting some food away.
she was having the time of her life. And then we leave Portillo's, get in the car to drive to Greg's thing, and she goes, guys, my wallet's gone. And we were like, what do you mean it's gone? And in classic Jerica fashion, she didn't want to deal with this. The panic set so fast, and I don't blame her, because like, she's in somewhere she's never been. Lose your wallet, you got to fly home, right? You got to fly home. You don't got an ID. You don't got any of your debit or credit cards. Luckily, she didn't have any cash in it, but she did have
It's so stupid still was. No one has fucking cash anymore. Like, it's a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily, like all of her cards like declined the transactions, and like they didn't actually end up getting anything other than
they were trying to buy $2,000 at Nordstrom Rack down the street. They tried one card, got declined. Then they tried another one of her cards, got declined. So the system worked, right? It worked. The only thing that she was sentimental about that she lost in there, other than her ID, obviously, was she has a skin for her credit card that is custom made by her that she ordered online.
Well, it's the custom card. Like, she ordered the credit card with the
really?
design on it. It's not just a sticker.
Oh, I thought it was a sticker. Okay, either way, she designed it and ordered the card. It has Kojima on it, just printed onto the card, which is hilarious. So, yeah. That sums up Chicago. I'm sure we'll have more stories.
And
eventually.
Joel has a new in-person friend who plays Star Wars Unlimited now, so he's gonna be.
This is just Matt and Dallas,
big
right?
Oh, I did buy this too. I bought a skin for my credit card here. Little Charizard. Yeah, we played Star Wars Unlimited on Friday night. And my friend Kenny came. And he was into it. He fucking destroyed all of us somehow, even though it's his first time ever playing.
Literally first time playing, and just like wiped the floor with all of us.
Yeah, and he liked it enough to where the next day he went and bought a bunch of cards. So now I have another friend to play with, and I don't have to. I mean, I'll still go. It's nice to know somebody else who wants to play. That way we can go to events together. Whereas before I was just going to I was playing hard mode. IRL and just going to card shops by myself for these events.
Yeah.
Fucking charismatic Joel Campos going by himself to places and immediately making friends.
Dude, I am not charismatic at all. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, Chad,
I am the most timid human
Survey
being.
says that's a lie.
Hey, Chad, sidebar, just me and you. No one's listening, right?
Right.
I told him I was going to do it, so it's not a big deal. But the amount of times that Joel texted me, Joel never texted me, but when I went to PAX West and they had that exclusive fucking Star Wars Unlimited, and he texted me every morning about getting in the queue line to try to get. What actually happened with that, Joel? It was like you had to you could only do it digitally. You couldn't I went to the line. They're like, you can't walk in the line. You have to do it digitally. I was like, well, sorry.
Yeah. So they had. It was like 6 cards in the set. It was convention exclusive. They were only having it at like 4 different events that last year. And yeah, it was. I think it was like $150 for the set or something like that, or $100. and you had to go to a specific website that they posted the link for
in the morning, every morning. That's what it was. Yeah,
every morning. And when you clicked on that link, you had to type in like the code on the under the QR code on your PAX badge, so that they knew you were actually an attendee of the event, and then you could check out. But every morning, like the link would die immediately because everybody was clicking, because it was like 9 a.m.
instantly.
9 a.m. every day, this link goes live that they post, and immediately link is dead for everybody, and then it just comes up like, oh yeah, sorry, this is sold out. But yeah, I was texting Adam every morning, and
Only time he's ever texted me. That was it.
I was at a lake house with friends, and I was like waking up early and shit to like all right, I got to get in here, try and get these.
If they do it at East, let me know, because I'll be there.
They're not going to be at East this year. Yeah.
Womp womp. All right, Chad, that's done. Our sidebar's done.
Yeah, it's time for our segment from segment from. That's the Last of Us little banjo.
Oh yeah, the little banjo. All right, this week it's an oldie and a goodie. I've decided to do. Hold on, give me a second, Joel. I need to share it with you. This segment. Oh, actually, I need to hold on. Let me go full screen before I do this. Okay. I'm now sharing it. So, for those videos people, it's going to be fine for audio as well. We're going to play video game Who Am I? This is a game.
Who is it?
Where I will show them a picture, varying difficulties, of video game characters. And since it's an audio medium, you will explain to me what the character looks like. And then you can give me a name and then the game or the game series that they're from. If you can do that, the name, you have to give me the name correctly. That has to get you the base point. If you can also give me the game it's in, you get 2 points for the question. And then whoever gives me the best description will get a little bonus point. So by the end of, I have 5 characters, and by the end of it, whoever has the most points gets to win. But yeah, we're playing a video game. Again, you got to give me the best explanation of what the character looks like. The theme is baddies. Take that.
Baddies.
This
is the game. We play this during Video Game Athlon, not the Olympics. And this is the game that Joel fucking pissed me off during. He's like, oh, I've never seen this guy in my life. I'm going to guess this one's probably called, like, I don't know, Gruntilda the Witch from Banjo-Kazooie. That's exactly the fucking name of Gruntilda the Witch.
He did that multiple times. I don't know who this is. It said exactly who it was.
Yep.
Classic Joel. I remember my favorite one I did between you and Cozy, just the two of you. I used this Google Slides background. That's why I pulled it back up last time. The last one was Satan from
with the giant wiener.
What's the game? Dante's Inferno. But Satan has a big old wiener in that game, and no one mentioned it. I'm like, explain the character. No one mentioned his big old slong. So, anyways, video game Who Am I? We're gonna go from easy to hard. First one up. I need to know who this character is. We'll start with Joel. Give me an explanation of who the character is, and then give me your guesses. Name, and then game or game series.
Okay, it looks like a turtle guy. He's got some spikes on his back. His skin is yellow, however, his head is green. And he's got a beige-ass mouth around the mouth and nose.
Ass mouth.
And he has a red ponytail, but no other hair. Other than his eyebrows are red, and he's got black bead eyes, and he's wearing a bib that looks like vampire mouth. Arr. And this is, I assume, Bowser Jr. from a game called Mario.
Okay, all right, Chad, go ahead and give me your description, your name, and the game series.
Oh, the same kid?
Yeah, it's for the both of you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is a little Simpsons character who's about to throw up. Little round rotund Simpsons guy who happens to also have a little tail, a little vestigial tail. He's about to throw up, so he's real pale and green almost, about to barf, which is why he's got the bib on to make sure he doesn't, get any vomit on his tummy. He also has handcuffs on because the Simpsons are notorious for going to jail. But this guy broke out, hence that's why you can tell the little spikes on his back. You can tell he's like a little punk rocker, fuck authority kind of thing. So he's broke out of jail and he's on the run now. And his name is Bowser Jr.
What game series would he be from?
I think the very first even appearance might have been Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Sorry, Yoshi's Story. Yoshi's Island.
You said Mario. That's good enough. Yes, it is Bowser Jr. for Mario. This is the easy one. Who gave me the better description? They were both very good. I did get a chuckle when Joel said his face was beige, so I think I'm going to give...
Beige ass mouth, I think.
He did say beige ass mouth. I'll give you the one this round. You'll get the little bonus point. That's 3 for Joel, 2 for Chad. Keep track of your own points, because I'm not. All right, next. Adventure. Because that's a difficulty in games sometimes. So adventure, I think, is a little bit tougher than hard, but it's not too bad. We go reverse. So Chad, explain to me what is on the screen for the adventure difficulty.
All right. So right now, we got a tree. We got a big, long tree who's got some really fibrous roots. You know those big, like, walking trees and, like, I think it's the Amazon, who has, like, a ton of really tall roots and, like, they walk a lot. So we got one of those trees that is also... just like gobbling up ghosts like Pac-Man at the front. It's got a big old mouth going waka waka waka. And riding this tree is a woman wrapped in bubble wrap who is just like completely head to toe wrapped in bubble wrap and painted green. She's also very ashamed of how she looks. So she's wearing a lot of long sleeves, big, thick, chunky coat, all in black. Real long leggings so that no one can see the bubble wrap on her legs. And she's got a big old pointy hat. And her name is, surprisingly, Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie.
No way. That's just a lucky guess, maybe. All right, Joel, give me all the information.
All right, we got this witch. Green Witch, the Wicked Witch of the West looking ass bitch. She is riding... what looks to be a snake, but no, that is a part of her body. That is a part of her being. That is coming straight out of the crotch. It is throbbing. It has eyes. It's wide open, waiting for whatever's to come. And yeah, it looks like a broom, but no, that is definitely a part of her body. She's wearing some pilgrim ass shoes. She's got a long, round brim, pointy hat. Those are like the fucking Pilgrim 8000s right there she's wearing. Those are
the Pilgrim
something else.
8000.
And she's got a purple scarf. It looks like something that Steve from Blue's Clues would wear if blue was actually purple. And the underside of that brim of that hat is red. And yeah, like Chad said, this is Gruntilda. I don't know her last name, but it's Gruntilda.
From
Banjo-Kazooie series.
Nailed it. You guys both got it.
Banjo-Kazooie specifically.
No, you did. So here's the funny thing. When I was looking up Gruntilda PNGs, I don't know what... I haven't played those games in so long. Is there a part where she tries to turn sexy and turns into, like, an attractive woman?
That's why she's kidnapped Banjo's little sister to steal her sexiness and make her sexy.
Okay, because when you type in Gruntilda in Google image search, I'm like, what is this a cosplay? Is this a Rule 34? But no, that's just from the video game. I will give the extra point to Chad because he said bubble wrap and that tickled me in a certain way. All right, so I think we're tied up. I'm not entirely sure. Next up, we're gonna get a little harder here, guys. Maybe not this one, but from here on, in the medium difficulty, who am I? Who is this character? Joel, explain who this is and then the name in the game.
I'll tell you right now, I have no fucking idea who this is, but it looks like Kratos. If Kratos had a child with Jax, I think his name is, from Mortal Kombat. But instead of guns, Jax... Is Jax the guy's name? I don't know. It's the guy with guns for hands. Does he have gun hands or just metal? I don't even
metal
fucking
arms.
know what I'm
Jax
talking
has metal
about.
arms. Yeah.
All right, he has metal arms. Okay, so Kratos, Jax, and Barrett from Final Fantasy all consumed a child together. So these arms are metal as fuck, and at the end there are lion heads with glowing green eyes, mouths open, teeth showing, with a helmet that has red hair on it, I guess. Would you call those? It's not really feathers. I don't know. A red mane of sorts in a semicircle around the top of his head, with what is probably a lion shape of a helmet. I don't know what this. It looks like a God of War character for sure, but I don't know if that's true because I never played any of the old God of War games.
So I do need a name and then the game title. You have to get the name correct to get any points. So give me a name and then you can say God of War, but I also need a name for the character, not just the game that they're in.
I don't know. I don't have a name. Greek mythology name from Greek mythology,
could you
or
guess
something.
somebody from Greek mythology instead of just saying Greek mythology name?
Let me see. What would you call him, Adam?
I know the answer, so I can't tell you.
Dude, I don't know Greek mythology at all. Like, it wouldn't be Zeus. That doesn't look like a Zeus character. I don't even know. Is that Greek mythology? I don't fucking know. This is rough. Can I Google real quick Greek mythology names?
No, absolutely not. If
Why
you do,
not?
You'll be disqualified. Just give me an answer. Just give me a name. Just give me a name.
I'm Googling names. Apollo. I'm going to call him Apollo. And he has a kilt of some sort from a God of War game.
Okay, Chad.
I thought Joel was about to Joel right now.
I was like, he's
don't
about to
know,
get it. I'm going to be so fucking pissed. I don't know who this is. His exact name.
Up.
Yeah.
No, so this is a man from the movie Night at the Museum, and he runs out of a display from a bunch of little Roman soldiers out there, and he gets caught up in the revolving door, and his mohawk spins around and turns sideways because he got dizzy, and that's it's no longer a mohawk, it's now a womock, which is what you call a sideways mohawk. He runs outside. It's really, really cold. And, your extremities get cold first. He's jacked to shit. He's not wearing many pieces of clothing. He's got some little sandals on. He's got something to protect his pee-pee. But he didn't have anything for his arms. So, in true museum fashion, there are lion statues out front of it. And he has taken the heads off the statues and worn them as gloves to keep his little fingies cold. Or fingies warm. And he does all this because his name is... I think in the game, they use the traditional Greek Heracles, but we as Americans and modern people would say Hercules from the God of War. I believe this was God of War 3 specifically, but it was God of War for sure.
Yes, it is Heracles from God of War, so Chad gets 2 points on that. As for the description, it might have been a flub. I might have misheard it. Joel said, if Kratos, Jax, and another character consumed a child...
Barrett from Final Fantasy.
That was and Barrett consumed a child. Consuming a child is very funny. So, Chad, give yourself 2 points. Joel, you do get 1 for having a good description. All right.
I don't get the game? I don't get the game?
You have to get the name.
You got to get the name together.
I need the character's name. It's
game.
video game, who am I? Not video game, where am I from? It's video game, who am I? That's the most important part. Again, I thought you were going to get it, but no, it's not Apollo. It's Hercules. All right, moving on to our next one. This is only 2 more left. Tough, who am I? Who is this character? I think Chad's first.
Yeah. So there's a line of comics called What If? Or I guess technically there's a TV show called What If, and maybe there's comics, but in there is Marvel Zombies. And this is the crossover between Marvel Zombies and Assassin's Creed. And we have a man dressed as a Templar, and he's not like he's a Templar, but really it's like Master Chief cosplaying. Master Chief went to Comic-Con as a Templar, and he got real bloody, and he accidentally bumped into a coat rack, and a bunch of the coat hangers got stuck in his gauntlets, and now he's got these little spiky things in there. He was drunk as fuck. He was drinking more than Joel was at this Comic-Con, and at the end of the day, to cut him off, to tell him, hey, you're way too drunk, you can't have any more, they fused his lips closed. And now we have Zombie Master Chief, Comic-Con bloody coat hanger in the arms, Templar, Assassin's Creed guy. And his name is Toby from fucking Wave Race.
Toby from Wave Race. All right, interesting. Joel, can you give me a description and the name of the game?
Yeah, so everybody's played Destiny, right? This looks like if Bungie decided they wanted to make a horror spin on Destiny and give everybody some sort of relation to Jesus Christ himself, right? So this guy has a cape, a white and black cape, white and red cape, and he has a giant red cross on his chest. But in addition to that, this boy's got straps. He is strapped to the teeth. Not necessarily for guns, because I don't see any guns, but this man is carrying a lot of ammunition. I can tell you that much. And he also has gauntlets that look like something the Arkham Knight would wear. For some reason, he's got bandages, bloody bandages on top of his boots. Not sure how that makes any sense, but they're there. There's blood on them. They're like in between all his armor. His dick must have been bleeding because there's blood on that loincloth. Yeah, I don't know who this is. I'm going to say this is Devilman. That's his name. And he is from Devilman's Kart Racing 64.
Yeah, those 64 graphics.
Is he got a stump over there, or is he just got a clenched fist on his left hand?
Clenched fist.
It looks clenched.
This is Azrael, who is a Batman character. He's in the Arkham series. He's basically...
close.
Well, I mean, you said Arkham is the one thing. Devilman Kart Racing is not close.
I said Marvel.
So here's my problem
Marvel, DC, they're basically the same.
Here's the thing. I was like, oh, Chad's going to have a better description because he mentioned comic books. But then Joel did say Arkham at one point. So then it comes down to...
I said the name. I said the name of the game.
Yeah, but you didn't actually guess the name of the game. That was just in your description.
It doesn't matter.
Who do I want to give?
That's like me saying, "Oh, this looks like a superhero," and Chad said, "Oh, that looks like fucking Batman's brother."
Literally too close to call. I'm going to flip a dime.
Joel talked about dick blood, so like that should count against him.
It does. All right. Who wants heads and who wants tails?
Why would that count against me? That should count against this fucking guy. He's the one with dick blood.
It's heads. Chad gets the one bonus point, but you don't get the other points because nobody guessed the name or the games correctly. All right. We're going into our last bullshit.
I would have given the point to Joel for the boot blood.
Yeah, why is there blood on that boot? It's like...
I don't know. You know what, Joel, you get the point.
God damn it, why did I say
you talked yourself out of it. Give yourself the point. So here we are in our final one. This is going to be hard. Video game, who am I? Who is this? Joel, I think you go first.
All right, we've all seen, heard, or known about The Sopranos, right? So Tony Soprano, this is a different take on life. He decided he was going to take God into his life. So he got out of the trash business, which is what he did. Apparently, that's what his business was. He was not a trash man per se, but he was in the industry of throwing out the trash, if you know what I mean. And he took Jesus into his life. So he is wearing what appears to be a yarmulke of some sort. It's red. And he has a cloth-looking bed sheet on. And many people think that he wears gloves all the time. Those are not gloves. He has just dyed his hands and arms red because of the trash he's taken out in his past. And we're not talking about bodies. We're talking about actual trash. Scum of the earth, right? He is killed. He has seen death. He has a lot of blood on his hands, which is why, in order for him to take into his new faith, they made him dye his arms. They made him do it. That way, it's a symbol of who he once was. And he has rings on because he is still the Don. He's playing both sides. This is a double agent. He is a priest and a kingpin. His name is Espiritu Santo, and he is from Assassin's Creed.
Okay, very good. Chad, give me your final attempt here.
So this is an interesting one where it's actually a video game that was made as like a cautionary tale, and this man in it, it looks like he might be from a long time ago, just based on his garb, because he is wearing this traditional, like, I don't know, cardinal-looking-esque garb. But what we're actually looking at here is a very near possible future where Donald Trump has not only taken over the United States, but has also become powerful enough to not just instate RFK Jr. as the head of the Department of Health or Elon Musk as the head of basically America, but he has instated Dr. Phil as the Pope. We have enough pull over the rest of the world and enough clout over fucking the church that Dr. Phil, not a real doctor, is now the Pope. And because Elon Musk said white isn't cool enough, we need to add red to it, the Pope now wears red. And that's it. That's the end of the description. Dr. Phil as Pope. And his name is Pope from Assassin's Creed.
So here's what I'm going to do here. This is technically the Pope from Assassin's Creed 2. That is not his name, so I already wrote this down ahead of time. If anyone says the Pope, I would give them a half point. So you get a half point for saying the Pope. You get the full point for saying Assassin's Creed.
He didn't say the Pope. He said his name is Pope.
The same thing. We got it, Joe.
No, he said his name is Pope.
Hey, you got your boot blood.
The man's name in the game is Rodrigo Borgia, who's literally a Templar who becomes the Pope, and Ezio kills the Pope at the end of Assassin's Creed 2.
I also said Templar. No, I said that in the last one.
You said in the last one. That's why I put these guys back to back. So I will give you the half point for Pope, and then I will give you the full point for Assassin's Creed. I will give Joel the one bonus point because the fucking name... Espiritu
Santo.
I fucking died when you said that shit. So Joel gets the point for that. Chad gets 1.5 for saying the Pope, but this is the Pope from Assassin's Creed 2, which you kill the Pope in Assassin's Creed 2, which is a crazy thing to say. So at the end of our game, that's the last one. What are the scores, boys?
I don't know the exact score, but I think I'm up by like 1.5 points.
I told you guys to keep score.
I kind of just kept it in my brain.
I don't know the exact score either, but I'm definitely beating Chad, so we're good.
Congratulations, whoever won. If you care enough, you can write it down in the comments. I actually do not care.
Cozy won.
Yeah, just because he's not here, he won. That is my video game, Who Am I? There we go. Good times.
Sweet. All right, we're going to go to Game On Game Show. The Game On Game Show, we play a game called Game On the Game Show on our game show. Game. Everyone's been talking about that Switch 2, y'all. But you know what they're not talking about? How much money they're going to get for their Switch games so that they can buy Switch 2 Edition games instead of the upgrades, because that's what they want to do for some reason, because they crazy folk. And this is Video Game Blackjack. So here's the theme for this one. This is Video Game Blackjack is we go to GameStop's website, GameStop.com. Occasionally we look at the Canadian values, but this time we are specifically looking at the United States of America values, which again could very quickly become world values and Pope values if we don't stop it now. The theme for this one, and you have to you have to choose a game, you get a trade-in value for that game, and the goal this time around is under $21.
Cheap.
Under $21.
But it has to be a Switch game, correct?
So the theme for this time is it has to be something related to a game that we've seen on Nintendo Switch 2 already, or that's been confirmed for Nintendo Switch 2. So it could be like Elden Ring 1, because we saw there's like a Dusk Bloods from Soft Game, and we've seen Elden Ring Tarnished Edition or whatever it is. So it has to be related to a franchise or a game that we have already seen. It does not necessarily have to be a Switch version of that game, but it has to be related to something from the Switch 2 Direct or confirmed for Switch 2. Okay. And I will let you police each other on whether or not, because I don't know if I remember everything that was announced.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got it.
Joel, to give you an opportunity to fuck right off, I'm going to let Adam go first.
And if it's not in the system, it's automatically,
Oh,
what
yes,
is it?
Great. Yeah, so
$10.
your goal is to keep it $21 or under, total. And you can go as many games as you want to get there. We're going to go back and forth. But if you say a game or a platform, you say this game on Xbox One, and that does not exist, then that's an automatic $10. Which could work in your favor, depending on your score.
Play it.
Yeah. So, Adam, what's your first game related to something we've seen already for Nintendo Switch 2 that you want to trade in for a Switch 2 version?
All right, Joel. We'll ask because we're policing each other. We were watching the trailer. We thought it was a sequel or maybe a remake or a re-release, but it wasn't. Would you give me Bloodborne? Because we assumed Duskbloods was Bloodborne until they said the name.
You need to submit it as your answer before I decide.
Bloodborne for PS4. But once he types it in, it's done. You can't go back on it now.
And here's the thing. I would not have allowed that, but because I flubbed and accidentally said Elden Ring would have counted because of Duskbloods, then yes, now it does count because I accidentally said that in the rules.
Yep.
So yes, I will count Bloodborne
I'm not
for
allowing
PS4.
This is insane.
Adam, Bloodborne for PS4 will get you towards a new Switch 2 game, $14.30.
Jesus Christ. God. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Big money right off the bat. All right, Joel. You want a Nintendo Switch 2? You're going to have Nintendo Switch 2 things to play. What are you trading in to get?
Dude, I'm so bad at this because I don't trade anything in, nor do I look up the price of any games that I would buy physically. I don't even know. I literally have no answer for you right now. I'm thinking in my head.
Just so Chad, I'm not cheating. I am looking at a list of games that were announced for Nintendo Switch 2. So I have a list of
send that list to Joel.
Yeah, can you say like 5 things and I'll formulate something from there?
Okay, so on here, I mean, I'm going like third party. Obviously, you've got your Mario Kart.
I got an answer.
Okay. What is it?
If we're gonna go by Adam's logic, Adam, we saw Welcome Park, or no, we saw what the fuck Drive. What was the
Dragon Drive?
No, what'd you say?
Dragon Drive.
Dragon Drive?
Yeah, Dragon Drive. Will you give me Arms 1 for the Nintendo Switch?
You know, I would give you Arms because it is a bullshit play with the Joy-Con fucking stupid game.
Okay,
so, yeah,
I'll go Arms 1 from the Nintendo Switch.
So you're looking at trading in Arms 1 so that you can get the spiritual successor Dragon Drive.
Spiritual.
Yes. Joel, we don't know how much Dragon Drive will cost, but I'd wager you're pretty close at $11 trade-in value to getting your
Arms? Arms.
Arms gives you $11 towards Dragon Drive. I don't know if that's half of it, a quarter of it, but I'd guess you're pretty close. So Adam, you're now at $14.30.
Yeah.
Remember, if you go over 21, you get busted.
I lose immediately. Here's what
Joel's
I
at
want.
$11.
Yeah. Here's what I want to do. They showed off Hitman World of Assassination coming to Switch.
They did.
So I want to do Hitman 2 for the PS4, hoping that doesn't get me. There was a physical copy of that, but it's old enough where I think it's not going to get me much because I want to get as close to 20 as I can. So Hitman 2 PS4, because new Hitman 3 basically is coming to Switch too.
And I want to confirm the platform. You want it on the PS4.
Yes.
Hitman 2. If you're thinking, dang, I'd love to play me some Hitman 2 levels on the Nintendo Switch 2, but I don't have the original Hitman 2, so I'll trade this in to get the up-resed brand new versions of these things in World of Assassination. You'd be doing pretty well for yourself because that game is $6.60, bringing your total right now to $20.90. $20.90.
I'm staying, bud.
So Joel,
Okay, so if I go over $21,
You bust.
I
bust.
bust.
You have to hit 21
Okay.
exactly to beat me.
Here's the thing. I'm at $11 right now. So
That's
my
true.
game plan is to try and think of a game related to the Switch 2 releases that may not be in that database, so I get exactly $10
That's the way to
and
play it.
end at 21.
that's a good
So
strategy. What are you
in
thinking?
my head right now, I'm thinking like, what would not be in here? Like, I literally don't know. Like, don't answer this, Chad, because I know you probably have looked into it. I don't know if GameStop accepts like PS1 games anymore. I don't think they do, but they've been doing retro stuff again, so they very well may be. I don't know. So like in my head, I'm thinking like, do I just go like Final Fantasy VII for PS1 and hope that it's just not in their database because they won't accept it anymore? Oh, this is tough. I'm thinking of other things that could be related. Like in my head, I want to get something like World of Warcraft, but that's not related, you know? Like I'm thinking something in that tier that is like they don't even sell a fucking disc for it.
Yeah. But
Like
it has
an old
to be
game that
related.
they don't sell a disc for. Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I'm struggling with in my head.
I don't know,
Did you
maybe-
send this? Did you send the list of Switch 2 announced
No,
stuff?
I can copy and paste it to you though, because I'm trying to help you
Switch
win for
2
some reason.
announced.
I
Switch
just put
2
you a
announced
GameSpot
games.
article that has everything that was, shown off for
Yeah,
Switch
I'm
2.
looking at a Polygon thing.
Yeah.
Dragon Drive already did that. Hyrule Warriors, no. Kirby Air Riders would be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know.
because they could very much be like, that game's very expensive because it's rare. Or they'd be like, we don't take that shit. You never know.
What? Can I say a mobile game?
If it is related to a Switch game.
Yeah, how are you going to finagle that one?
All right. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I guess it has to have a physical version. It has to have a physical version that you'd be able to trade in.
Oh, that's bullshit. I will trade in my iPhone that has this game installed on it.
Okay, well they do take technology as trade-ins.
Yeah, I know they do.
iPhone 16 Pro.
I know they do. Hold on, I'm scrolling through this list. This is so hard because like my only chance at winning is finding a game that is not in that database, and I don't know if they. Let's see, Elder Scrolls. Fuck. Borderlands is an interesting route.
Yeah.
Borderlands is an interesting route too, but I gotta find the one that is
they don't
like,
take.
Yeah, which is impossible. They'll take all of them. Fast Fusion, Enter the Gungeon, Final Fantasy. I think that's my best. My best shot is.
What are you going for?
My best shot in my head right now is either Final Fantasy VII PS1, but my worry is that they do take it and they're willing to pay like $80 for it or something stupid because it's like a rare game, which is unlikely because it's GameStop. I'm also thinking Fortnite because that came out physically at one point, and I know that game sells for a lot of money online, like the physical disc, because you can't find it anywhere anymore. But it could be something that GameStop just doesn't accept as a trade-in because it's a free-to-play game online.
I'd say just for fun, I would just do Final Fantasy VII for PS1. Because, like, what are the chances they're taking PS1 games? They used to, but I don't think they do anymore.
No. They're reselling retro games again.
Oh,
like that was a big topic of discussion like 6-8 months ago.
I don't know.
Is that certain stores are selling old games? Hey, bud. So I'm gonna go.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Fortnite. I'm gonna go Fortnite for the Xbox One.
Fortnite for Xbox One does not have a GameStop tradable version.
But is it in the system at all, though, Chad? That's the question.
No, there are only Fortnite themed controllers that are.
Let's
when
go.
You type Fortnite.
Let's go.
Which
Adam,
gives you $10.
You cheated.
Which is $21 total. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more round.
Okay.
With a different twist on it this time. This time, you only have 3 games, and this is the Tariff Edition. Price of the Switch has gone up so much, and you got to get as much money as you can for your 3 games. What 3 games are you trading in to get your new Nintendo Switch 2? So the goal here is as much money as possible. There's no busting. You're just trying to get to the top.
Just 3 games that get a lot of money.
Joel, since you won, you get to now choose your first game. What is your first game?
Oh, what's the most recent game that came out?
Actually, we're gonna do this slightly differently. We're gonna do all 3 of your games, and I won't reveal the price to you. And then Adam's gonna choose all 3 of his games, and I won't reveal the price. And then we'll kind of
no. Let's go back and forth. 1 and 1. We'll go 1 and 1, but you won't reveal the price. I'll do 1. He'll do 1.
Yeah. Okay. We'll reveal all the prices at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck, dude, I'm so bad at this.
And also again has to be related to something that we saw at the Nintendo Switch 2, or it has been confirmed.
Oh, it's okay. 2. So it still has to be related.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna start with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. I know there's no other platform for it. Gotcha. All right. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, I'm not responding with the price right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam, knowing that he might get closer to a Nintendo Switch 2 before you do, and who knows what the stock looks like, maybe he'll end up having enough money to get one, and then you'll be out left for dry.
Give me Mario Party Jamboree Switch Edition without the TV bullshit.
Mario Party Jamboree on Nintendo Switch. Got it. Okay.
I will
right, Joel,
take.
What's your rebuttal?
I was gonna say Super Smash Brothers, but that's not really related. It's just another Mario game. Give me Super Mario Odyssey.
I'll take that. for the Nintendo Switch, of course. All right, so Adam.
WWE 2K25, because it will be coming to Switch too.
Oh, okay. Which platform do you want to use?
Give me the PS5 version.
Okay, WWE 2K25 for PS5. All right, Joel. This is your final game.
Okay.
This is your last shot to be undefeated.
Fuck, give me. I thought about just saying WWE 2K25 like Ultimate Edition, but I don't know that they accept that as a separate trade-in because it's probably all digital stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let me look through this list again. Cyberpunk, no. Elden Ring, Enter the Gungeon, Fast Fusion, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, Sports Legacy probably doesn't resell for that much. Madden, no resale value there. WWE 2K, I don't even think probably resells that much to GameStop. I think I want to keep it Nintendo because I feel like they're going to get the most bang for their buck. What do I have so far? I have Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Odyssey.
I'm going to go Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh, a recent first-party title.
Yeah,
all right.
That's a big one for sure.
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom for Nintendo Switch. All right, Adam.
Yeah.
This could make or break.
I'm not expecting to win at this point because Joel has taken all of the good ones, right? Actually, fuck. This is probably not going to work well for me, but I want to just have fun here. They announced the GameCube Classics, right? And one of those, everyone was excited. Oh, Wind Waker. But they still take Wind Waker HD for the Wii U in a GameStop as trade-in, I would assume. Maybe it's worth something. So I just want to go for that. Because I would have chosen Zelda because it's the most recent game that it was a big. But give me Wii U Zelda Wind Waker HD. That's my trade-in.
Zelda Wind Waker HD for the Wii U is your final trade-in.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, the difference in the final totals here is a whopping $22.
Oh, boy.
God
That's
damn,
a big difference there between first
good.
and last.
Oh, jeez.
I'll let you know the least expensive game, Mario Odyssey, for $17.60 for Joel.
17.
The most expensive game that anyone chose, Mario Party Jamboree for $33 over there.
How is that possible?
That's wild.
Possible?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, that might be the most recent game on this list as well.
I think so.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
I don't know about 2K25, but yeah,
Well,
$33, Mario Party Jamboree. So now it comes down to, is first-party Switch enough to overpower old-ass Zelda and third-party sports title? And the answer is no, it is not, because Adam finished with $86.90 total. WWE 2K25 gave us $29.70, and Wind Waker gave us $24.20. And Joel, you finished with $64.90, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe giving us $22, Mario Odyssey giving us $17.60, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom giving us $25.30.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I show up to GameStop with a copy of Wind Waker HD for Wii U, and they offer me, what was it, like $22?
Like
I'm pissed.
$24.20.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, well, it's GameStop, you know. Welcome in.
Yep. All right, folks. That was a great little round. Nice, we're tied, so everybody leaves happy. And that's it for Game on Game Show. That's it for episode 391 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for... Oh, I played Batman Arkham on the Quest 3.
Oh, there you go.
It was pretty cool.
Talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'll talk about it next week. We did all the ones, and there's a video Joel took of me, like, picking Gordon's nose and, like, putting my finger in his ass, pretending it's a Sharpie and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's it. Episode 391. Your homework again. Play The Outer Worlds. This is mostly a reminder for me. That game's coming up for review in 2 weeks. We got to talk about Outer Worlds for part of our Barf game. If you want to also participate in our Barf episode and write in your thoughts or be on the show, let us know. We still have not settled on a date, so we can definitely still accommodate. And if you want to vote on what our next Barf game is, you can do that by being a patron over at patreon.com/respawningfire, where we will put up a poll probably in about a week and a half, and you get to vote on what May's game will be. While you're there at patreon.com/respawningfire, you can view Rafter Dark 3, which is our monthly Patreon exclusive for a month episode, where I forget, we already talked about what it is at the top. I forgot what it is already. But yeah, Rafter Dark 3, go check that out. If you are not a patron, you can go to podcast services and YouTube and watch Rafter Dark 2 as our free monthly version. I think it was that one too, where I said if you're watching this after a certain date, fuck you or something like that. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you said that. Yeah.
So still applies. I stand by what I said. And that's it. That's it, everybody. Next week we will have Cozy back.
Allegedly.
The people have been knocking at my door. I haven't been home because I've been over with Joel, just cuddling and walking and playing Pokemon Go. But Atreus has told me people are knocking on my door asking, where's Cozy? And they're saying it like Batman. Where is he? Where's Cozy?
Swear to me.
And Atreus has just been saying, Rachel. That's all he's been saying back. So Cozy will be back next week, allegedly. I cannot wait to hear everything he did in Japan and all of his antics. So I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a catch-up there during playtime for that, too. So look forward to that. And, yeah. Thanks, folks. Until next time, here's our usual sign-off. Beige-ass mouth.